I was supposed to get home at midnight, but my flight landed early. And thank God it did, because when I turned onto my street, I found my legally parked truck halfway in the air, Karen grinning beside it like she'd just won. But the second the tow driver saw my face, everything stopped. I wasn't supposed to be home yet. The plan was simple: attend a 3-day work conference, come back late Friday, collapse into bed, and reclaim my sanity after listening to corporate buzzwords like synergy and scalability. But a storm swept across the Midwest, canceling half the flights, except mine. So there I was, stepping out of an Uber at 9:47 p.m. instead of midnight. And that's when I heard it. The metallic clank of chains tightening. The mechanical groan of hydraulics. A spotlight cutting through the dark like a judgmental sunbeam. My stomach dropped, because parked under that harsh white glare was my truck. Lifted, tilted, being hauled onto a tow truck like a stolen prize. And standing beside it was her, Karen, the HOA's self-appointed queen of control. The woman who once measured my grass with a ruler. Her arms were crossed, chin up, eyes full of that "I finally got you" expression she wears like perfume. But the tow driver, he was focused on the job. Clipboard in hand, foot on the winch pedal. No hesitation. I stepped forward slowly, my suitcase rolling behind me. The tow driver didn't look up. Karen did. Her smile stretched. "Oh, look who's early," she sang, like she'd rehearsed it all afternoon. I stopped by the mailbox, stared at the scene. "My truck is legally parked," I said calmly. "You can't tow it." Karen scoffed. "It's been abandoned for days, and it violates the HOA's vehicle storage policy." "It was parked for 3 days," I said, "and it's registered, insured, and on my own property." She shrugged dramatically. "Well, I reported it. The tow company agreed it needed removal. But the tow driver, he still hadn't looked at me, so I spoke louder. "Sir, you're towing a vehicle that's legally parked on private property." He thumbed through his paperwork. "Says here this is an abandoned vehicle, called in by HOA." Then he finally lifted his eyes and froze. The winch stopped. The chains stopped. His breath hitched. "Oh," he murmured. "It's you." Karen's smile flickered, because suddenly the tow driver dropped his clipboard. I didn't know this was your truck," he stammered. Karen's head snapped toward him. "What does that matter? Tow it." But the man shook his head slowly, like reality was catching up with him. No, I'm not touching this job if it's his." Karen exploded. "What difference does that make?" The tow driver swallowed hard. "Because I know exactly who he is." He stepped off the truck, hands raised, face pale. Karen looked between us, confused, and then suspicious. "Who are you?" she demanded. I didn't answer, because her panic was worth the silence. She took a step back. "What's going on? Why are you stopping the tow?" The tow driver picked up his clipboard and tore the sheet in half. "I'm not getting involved," he said firmly. "Not with him. Not with this house. Not with this truck." Karen looked ready to combust. And then, just when she thought she could force him, blue headlights turned the corner. Police cruiser. She froze, because she knew she'd messed up. And this was only the beginning. The police cruiser rolled to a stop, lights still swirling gently, washing the street in red and blue. Officer Rodriguez stepped out. A man I knew well. A man who knew me even better. "What's going on here?" he asked, scanning the scene. Karen latched onto him like a lifeline. "Officer, thank goodness. This man is interfering with an HOA-authorized tow." Rodriguez raised an eyebrow. "You sure about that?" "Yes. I reported this abandoned truck and the HOA approved the removal." The officer turned to me. "Abandoned? 3 days parked," I said. "Legally. On my property." He nodded slowly, then turned to the driver. "You got paperwork?" The driver held up the torn pieces. "Had. Not anymore. I'm refusing the tow." Karen shrieked. "Why?" The driver looked at me, then at her. "Ma'am, do you know who he is?" She folded her arms tightly. Some rule-breaking homeowner. No, the driver said quietly. He's the regional compliance inspector for our entire towing company. Karen's jaw dropped. All the color drained from her face. Officer Rodriguez couldn't even hide his smirk. I oversee tow companies across 3 counties, I said gently. And guess who reviews improper tow complaints? Karen stumbled back. And no, this is a misunderstanding. Rodriguez stepped forward. Ma'am, filing a false abandoned vehicle report is a misdemeanor, and harassing a tow operator to forcibly remove a legal vehicle? That's another charge. I didn't know, she stammered. That's the thing, I said. You never ask. You just act. The tow driver lowered my truck carefully back onto the pavement. No charge, he said softly. And, sorry, we got played. Rodriguez pulled out a citation pad. Karen panicked. No, please. I didn't mean. But the officer kept writing. You wanted authority, I said. Now you're dealing with it. The moment Rodriguez handed her the citation, Karen's entire posture collapsed. The tow driver packed up quickly, muttering apologies. Rodriguez shook my hand before he left. You need anything else, you let me know. And then, just like that, the street went quiet. Karen stood alone, holding the citation, shoulders shaking. I walked past her. Next time, I said softly, try knocking instead of scheming. I grabbed my suitcase and headed inside. Her whisper followed me. I'm sorry, but it was too late. She tried to tow the wrong truck, from the wrong man, and she'll never forget it.